Hello, dear friends. In our earlier lecture, we have studied how flora is useful as a taxonomic tool. There are different types of flora, and these flora may be a flora of a country, or flora of a state, or a flora of a province, or it may be flora of a district or a flora of a particular place. As far as flora considered, whenever it is a capital F first letter, then flora is a book, while normally whenever it is a written small first letter F, then it is a flora, that means description, that is availability of different plants in that particular area. As far as flora considered, floras act as a taxonomic tool. Flora is a systematic account of plants of defined geographical area, and it provides key and description of plants or identification. Normally description is in detail, and many times it shows presence of geographical information as well as flowering and fruiting of plant also. Primary flora helps in identification of a species. It also provides other data like local or vernacular names, distribution of plants, botanical names used in a description, and description of particular plant. So flora is a basic unit to identify a particular genus or species on basis of its morphological and other characteristic features. And for this purpose, flora is always called as a taxonomic tool. Now, next to flora is another important. Uh, next to flora is another important version that is called as a monograph. I think you might be known with the seen some monographs. For example, monograph of tulipa, monograph of grasses, or monograph of XYZ family, etc. Normally, monograph is a complete global account of a taxa of any rank or family or genera or species at a given time. So monograph gives illustrated description of that particular family or genera or species at the world level on the specific time when it is published. Monographs includes existing taxonomic knowledge and all relevant information about the group of concern such as anatomy, biochemistry, palynology, chromosomes, number of chromosomes, and as well as palynological details. Monographs also includes extensive literature, review, all nomenclatural information, identification, key to all taxa, citation of specimens examined, and distribution of map, etc. For example, the family Lentivillaceae by Peter Taylor. So there is a monograph of Peter Taylor for family Lentivillaceae. So in this way, monographs are also useful for identification as a taxonomic tool. Now next, our important part that is related to botanical gardens. Prior to this lecture, I have shared 4 or 5 YouTube links where details regarding the botanical gardens of world were mentioned. But as far as botanical gardens considered, in the true sense, all gardens are not botanical gardens. Botanical gardens are centers for collection of a plant in their various stages of a living. Gardens existed for growing ornamental plants for aesthetic value, religious and status reasons. The famous hanging gardens of Babylon in Mesopotamia is an example for the purpose of science and education. The first garden was maintained by Theophrastus in his public lecture hall at Athens. First modern botanical garden was established by Luca Ghini during the period 1490 to 1556. The Luca Ghini was a professor of botany at Pisa, that is in Italy, during the period of 1544. As far as botanical gardens considered, in the true sense, all gardens are not botanical gardens. Botanical gardens are center for collection of plant in the various stages. Here, as far as botanical gardens considered, the details, just a minute, details will be now you can have an idea regarding the botanical garden, such as you can observe here the photograph, that is National Botanical from India, the National Botanical Garden, which is available at the Lucknow, which was established in 1948, and Arboretum has about 500 species of a tree, 500 species of rose, hybrid, major attraction, germplasm collection, and ex situ conservation. Next important garden is, that is Indian Botanical Garden, Calcutta, established in 1786 by Lieutenant Colonel Robert Kidd, and it is largest and oldest botanical garden. It has a collection of 1500 species, 15,000 species of a plant, and major attraction of this Indian Botanical Garden is the Great Banyan Tree. Besides that, the third important national garden is National Orchidarium Yerkud, established in 1963, maintained by Southern Circle of Botanical Survey of India. It has 3,000 trees and 1,800 shrubs, and major attraction is insectivorous plants. The next important garden is JNTBGRI, which is known as Trivandrum Garden in Kerala, established in 1979, and which is important for conserving the tropical plant genetic resources. So it is known as Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanical Garden. It includes 4,000 species of flowering plants, 300 species of non-flowering plant, and major attraction, that is Bambustum, that is 69 species of bamboo. So these are the four important botanical gardens of our country, that is National Botanical Garden at Lucknow, then Indian Botanical Garden at Calcutta, then National Orchidarium Erkud, and JNTBGRI, that is Trivandrum, Kerala, or Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanical Garden, as well as Research Institute, Kerala, or Tiruvananthapuram, Trivandrum. Botanical gardens contain special plants collection such as cacti, succulent, greenhouse, shade house, tropical, alpine, and exotic plants. Worldwide, there are about 1,800 botanical gardens and arboreta. Role of botanical gardens. Botanical gardens play the following important roles. Gardens with aesthetic value, which attract large number of visitors, like Great Banyan Tree, Ficus bengalensis, in the Indian Botanical Garden at Calcutta, which is much famous. Visitors visit to this garden for visiting this tree or observing this tree. Gardens has a wide range of species and supply taxonomic material for botanical research. Garden is also used for self-instruction or demonstration purpose. Garden can be integrate information of a diverse field like anatomy, embryology, phytochemistry, cytology, phylogeny, ecology, etc. Botanical gardens act as a conservation center for diversity, rare and endangered species. It offers annual list of available species and free exchange of seeds. And for this purpose, gardens play important role. Then next is botanical garden gives information about methods of propagation, sales of plant material to the general persons or general peoples. And for this purpose, these are different purpose, botanical gardens are very important. Now the different botanical gardens of world, Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, England, which is much famous. The Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, is a non-departmental public body in the United Kingdom. It is the largest botanical garden in the world, established during 1760, but officially opened in year 1841. And nowadays, it is one of the largest garden of the world. In my presentation, as well as notes or additional material, I am giving rise to you different additional links for videos. And simultaneously, I have already shared you 4 different YouTube links for botanical gardens of the world. Now, as far as taxonomic aids are the tools for taxonomic study, some techniques, procedures, stored information that are useful in identification and classification of organisms, which are called as the taxonomic aids. They are required in almost all branches of biological studies for their proper identification and for finding their relationship with others. Some of the taxonomical aids are like keys, flora, revisions, monographs, catalogs, herbarium, botanical gardens, etc. Now, next to this, we are going to study idea regarding another interesting that is geographical information system, or which is known as a GIS. Or it is known as GIS. As far as GIS considered, geographical information system is the latest technique used to study biosystematics in remote sensing and the use of computers. So our next part is related to geographical information system, or GIS. The latest techniques used as a tool in biosystematic is a remote sensing, and another is the use of computers. As it is known to all of you that computers are very useful to handle the large amount of data. There are various programs prepared by various agencies, and these programs are useful for handling the large amount of data available regarding the taxonomy. Because you are known, there are thousands of plants available, and for these thousands of plants, morphological data as well as data available from different field is available, and hence computers are very useful and used as a tool for further studies. Remote sensing is carried out by a satellite to get an idea of the particular phytogeographical area. So sensing technique, which is used on the large scale for for managing the data as well as observing the data. It was first used in 19th century by using different camera, but now the technology is well developed and pictures are provided by satellites. Geographical information system gives information about the area. Computer and softwares is required for interpreting the result. These are also, there are hundreds of different types of softwares are now available. Geographical Information System or GIS, which captures, stores, analyzes, manages, and presents the data, which is linked to location. It includes mapping software and its application with remote sensing, land surveying, aerial photography, mathematical photography, geography, and tools that can be implemented with GIS softwares. I think you might be known nowadays several different types of electronic devices are observed. There is one more device, that is GPS, which gives idea regarding the coordinates at particular place. GIS technology is used for scientific investigations, resource management, archaeology, environmental impact assessment, then cartography, criminology, topography, etc. It is also used for calculating natural disasters and their impacts. GIS can be assessed, transferred, overlaid, transformed, processed, and displayed by using various softwares. Many softwares are offered by several companies. These include Bentley and System, that is ESRI, Marifold System, Small World, etc. Offer an entire suite of tools. So these GIS softwares are also playing important role. Government and military departments often use custom softwares, open source products, that is GRASS, GRASS, GRASS software is important, or UDIG, small u, UDIG, etc. Free tools exist of various GIS databases. Public access to geographic information system dominated by online resources such as Google Earth and interactive web mapping. I think you might be aware regarding the Google Earth. You just visit to Google Earth, you can have idea regarding number of different way in which you can go to study. GIS is used for different purposes, and the first important purpose is mapping of different things. For example, pattern. Distribution of plant in an area that produces a definite pattern, and this pattern is mapped by means of a GIS technology. Then features, mapping of individual feature. Then quantities, it means maps are prepared showing the frequency and abundance of the vegetation of area. Information about the interrelationship between the places could be calculated out of it, and so it is also useful. So there are different layers and you can have idea regarding change also. Mapping at different time of particular place can also provide the data of changes occurring in the particular area. It helps in evaluating and taking resources of the correction, uh, measures of the correction. Mapping provides the type of plants in that particular area, though it is aerial survey. But when one knows about the plants in that area, the one can also know about the climate, soil, irrigation, etc. like factors. Environment of surrounding area may also be known easily. So this GIS technique, which is very useful. Now the next important part, that is related to merits of GIS. As far as GIS considered, mapping also provides the concentration of vegetation of the area, that is density of vegetation observed by aerial survey, that is distribution of the plant, their canopy structure, etc. And such a type of data is very useful because indirectly you can observe it by using different devices and you have overall look to that particular layer. For GIS analysis, first one should frame questions in mind and select the data according to it. After second, the data is processed for analysis. Finally, the results are in the form of a mapping. The software used for the purpose should be flexible enough to allow the display of results in the best suited format. Then another merit, GIS has helped in investigation of an area and allow the taxonomist to improve measurement of resources, not mapping, but a way of getting better view of the canopy. Vegetation and other things from the distinct create a map of a data gathered from database. GIS not only can give information or mapping about, but it can analyze the individual plant or even a human body also. Remote sensing involves detection and measurement of the radiation differences, then wavelengths entitled or reflected from the distinct objects, helping on their identification. And these are the different merits of GIS. Now, GIS technology needs process, and this process includes, for this process, it includes energy sources, transmission path, target, and satellite sensors. Now, as far as energy sources are considered, energy sources here is electromagnetic. It serves the medium for transmitting information, target to sensor, that is electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic energy comes from extremely legends like cosmic or gamma rays, extremely long wavelength like radiation, television, or even micro, that is 3 to 300 cms, etc. So these three processes, including energy source, transmission path, target, and satellite sensors, these are very useful for GIS studies. The next one, that is remote sensing system, are manually or two types activated, active and passive systems. First one, active remote sensing system. The system generates its own electromagnetic relations, measure the intensity of a return signal. Sensor provide its own illumination. Example of it is synthetic aperture radar, or it is known as SAR. It is example of active system. Then passive system. The system consists of small sensors which can be electromagnetic radiation reflected or emitted from the Earth's surface, and primarily visible and near infrared data are used in most of the GIS applications and classification of vegetations, etc. Then next one. So up till now we have studied the different techniques, tools which are important for taxonomy. That is flora, herbarium, different types of monographs, then computers, then GIS, and now we have idea regarding the molecular techniques. But remember, this is just a video. I am simultaneously going to provide you presentation, so you have idea regarding the these different things in a different manner, because visually it could be possible to show you these things. So you depend on both, that is PowerPoint presentation as well as this video. Then molecular techniques. Nowadays, importance is given to molecular techniques because at the small level or at the micro level, it is possible to have a clear-cut idea regarding each and everything or information. These different techniques include DNA profile making, DNA fingerprinting, then map, chloroplast and DNA profile, molecular sequences for phylogenetic and systematic analysis. Now remember, it is very simple to say that molecular techniques include X, Y, Z, A, B, C, etc. type. But it is comparatively quite difficult to go through each and every technique and understand the different things of these techniques. Now, as far as molecular techniques considered, molecular techniques as a taxonomic tool is of very recent development. Rapid advancement in molecular biology of a plant influenced taxonomists in this respect. Direct application of the molecular parameters as a taxonomic feature is relatively less developed. Then DNA profiling. DNA profiles are most widely used in classification. In the last last 50 years. Intraspecific variation can be detected easily by using DNA profiles. Other parameters used in molecular sequences. It offers the most unambiguous and reliable basis for phylogenetic as well as systematic consideration. So these different types of molecular techniques and DNA profiles, these are very important and they act as a taxonomic tool. Then DNA profile making. As far as DNA profile making is considered, eukaryotic genome has a variety of sequences types including various claims of repetitive and non-repetitive type of methods, which reveals specific DNA sequences. Distribution patterns are generally known as DNA profile methods. Important then DNA profile methods, that is DFP or DNA fingerprinting, and MAAP map or multiple arbitrary amplicon profiling. So MAP and DNA fingerprinting or DFP, MAAP and DFP, these are two important techniques. DFP means DNA fingerprinting and multiple arbitrary amplicon profiling means MAP. Then DNA fingerprinting. As far as DNA fingerprinting is considered, it is useful technique for genotypic determination. It is possible to trace the gene flow among individuals in the population to establish genetic relationship. Individual genotype can be identified at the molecular level, or you can have idea regarding extremely high level of polymorphism in the sequences of DNA. DNA fingerprinting adequately describes population genotype distribution, and for this purpose, DNA fingerprinting is important. NIBOM in 1993 considered DNA fingerprinting. It is difficult to analyze interpopulation and interspecific level of genetic variations. By appropriate probes, fingerprinting has been employed to classify group of organisms as in the same fungi by Mayer, then Bani, then Dandelinus and Carniotins, etc. So these are the different workers, those who have used DNA fingerprinting at least in case of some fungi. Then another is I have called you, that is MAP, that is multiple arbitrary amplification profiling. Kitano and al. 1994 described the MAP or multiple arbitrary amplification profiling collectively for three versions, that is RAPD or random amplified polymorphics DNA, then APCR or arbitrary primed PCR, and DAF, that is DNA amplification fingerprinting, etc. In these different methods, single primer of arbitrary nucleotide sequence annealed to the genome DNA at two different sites on opposite strands, and if these primers annealing sites are within amplifiable distance of each other, discrete products are formed, the number of which depends on the genome size and homology between primer and the template DNA sequences. Then RAPD or APPCR analysis, which has enabled the determination of phenetic relationship and extent of variability in Lycopersicon esculentum, that is Adams and Demark in 1993 described the systematic relations in junipers also. Then genetic diversity and phylogeny in Azolla was studied by Popinello in 1993. Systematic or phylogenetic studies in Stylosanthes by Kazan 1993, Lotus by Campos 1994, and Lenz by Abolwep 1995 has also carried out these different techniques. Then chloroplast and DNA profiling. As it is well known to all of you, chloroplast and DNA, these are two very important cellular organelles. And the specificity is that both these organelles have their own genetic material. And for this purpose, chloroplast DNA profiling and mitochondrial DNA profiling is very important. Out of this chloroplast DNA profiling, Palmer in 1985 and 1987, 1988 studied the chloroplast DNA as a taxonomic or phylogenetic parameter. So Palmer is the first person who has studied chloroplast DNA for the purpose of solving the different taxonomic problems. According to them, the comparison of restriction site data in chloroplast DNA has generally been applied for examine relationship among closely related species or genera. For example, in family Asteraceae chloroplast, DNA variation was explained in 57 genera belongs to 19 different tribes. So chloroplast DNA analysis is also useful as a taxonomic tool. The analysis suggested that 1927 cleavage sites for 11 restriction enzymes tested suggested phylogenetic relationship. Then Dolly in 1993 used the chloroplast DNA profile in family Leguminosae. Data was found to be useful in classifying at the genus and species level, but it was also useful at higher taxonomic level as a tribes and family on the large scale. In another genera, that is Astragalus, within the tribe Galagi, the chloroplast DNA profiles were generated using specific genes such as RPO, that is C1, and RPO C2 as a probes by Sanderson and Liston in 1995. So these are some of the examples through which we can have idea how these are different techniques used as a taxonomic tool to solve the taxonomic difficulties, to differentiate the different species or genera or even families. The results confirm polyphyletic origin of Galagi, illustrating division within a Galagi is in general and Astragalus is in particular. So these are also some examples on basis of which we can say that these are different types of taxonomic tools which are helpful to solve the taxonomic problems. Then the next one, which is related to molecular sequences and phylogenetic and systematic analysis. Primary sequences of nucleic acids and proteins are considered as a parameter for phylogenetic as well as systematic analysis. Use of protein and nucleic acid sequence in a molecular taxonomy depends on sequencing data. Nucleic acid and or amino acid sequences in a large number of organisms needed to be determined. The extent of variability in these different sequences within a gene or within a species need to be determined before these it can be taxonomic parameter. The rate evolutionary changes in sequences should be compared well with the level divergence of the species concerned, etc. Then mode of sequence, that is evolution, should be gradual and not adaptive. Only evolution changes which are qualitatively similar should be considered for comparative study. The genus encoding 5S RNA or 5S DNA sequences occur in thousands of copies which are very similar in a structure. Each unit of repetition consisting of coding sequences which is about 30 BP long and spacer sequence 100 to 700 BP or base pair sequence long with several units arranging even in a tandem manner. Repeat unit arrangements of 5S DNA sequences are considered to be a great parameter of phylogeny and systematics. Shastri in 1992 has given by an overview evolution in the 5S DNA sequences. Playford 1992 studied the sequences of such a type. Then phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase sequences, that is PEP carboxylase sequences is an important enzyme of metabolism, especially of a C4 plant. Amino acid sequences of PEP carboxylase are known from different organisms. Tao in 1994 determined the molecular evolution in PEP carboxylase and predicted divergence time of an enzyme between monocot and dicot. Lower organisms, including bacteria, cyanobacteria, can be easily separated from higher plant. Three distinct groups of enzymes are identified on basis of primary sequences of proteins. Satellite DNA. Satellite DNA is a taxonomic marker. Laptin in 1992 identified many examples which satellite DNA is a specific or species or specific character. That is, satellite DNA is presented in Solarian brevidens while absent in Solarian tuberosum. Satellite DNA is in tomato, wheat, barley, rye, etc. has been also found to be specific, and not only specific but species specific. Then chromosomal bands. Chromosomal bands reflecting different heterochromatic regions also proposed a good molecular parameter of the major molecular approaches. PCR-based technology shows maximum potential for phylogenetics, systematic taking into account the limitations of morphological markers, based molecular marker in conjunction with morphological and biochemical markers, which are serving as a better taxonomic tool. DNA markers as a devoid of environmental and developmental influences, unlimited in number, to detect polymorphism, devoid of pleiotropic and epipleiotropic tremendous discriminatory power, which is consistent under the identical experimental conditions. Just recently, such a different types of molecular markers are identified, including hybridization-based markers as RFLPs, that is repeated elements, microsatellite, mini satellites, PCR-based markers such as APPCR, MPPCR, ISSR, STS, STMS, SCAR, DAF, etc. DNA-based molecular markers applied in various aspects on taxonomy analyze the genetical identity, genetic relatedness among population, geography in case of population and species, pedigree, polygenetic structure at various macro and micro level, and differentiating among the isolated different types of a species. So remember, in this way, these are different types of things which are going are branches of a knowledge which gives idea or which are used on the large scale as a taxonomic tool. So lastly, I can say that the tools such as herbarium, flora, monograph, botanical gardens, biochemical and molecular different techniques, then GIS, these are very useful for solving the latest taxonomic problems. That is regarding the nomenclature, regarding the identification, regarding the classification, regarding establishing phylogeny in between different genera as well as species. And for this purpose, these are considered as important taxonomic tools. Dear students, I have made this just a video because of shortage of time, and I want to go further with next successive unit because we have short time, and that's why I have prepared the video. But simultaneously, I am going to share with you the presentation or PPT so that in the form of handouts, and so that it is easy for you to understand the matter. In PPT, there are various different types of links are given, specifically YouTube links, which are useful for you. And whatever material in the form of PPT or in the form of recorded narration or in the form of sound recording or even this video lecture, you prepare your own note to understand the subject matter or its content. And in this way, we have completed our important topic, that is taxonomic tools. That is your third unit from 2T4. And henceforth, in the successive lecture, we are going to study our unit number 4, that is the last unit of this paper. But I simply say that due to lack of time, I have shared a video. Feel free to ask anything if you have any doubt, any kind of doubt regarding any topic of the syllabus. So thus, I have completed your unit number 1, unit number 2, as well as unit number 3, except one point, that is heterobathymy, which is remaining. So with this, thank you very much. Thank you.